It would not be appropriate for us to comment on any ongoing investigations. This is not something I'm going to comment on. We're just not going to comment on any ongoing investigations. I'm just not going to comment. I'm not going to comment further from here from what I said. From here, I'm not going to comment on that. We're just not going to comment. We're just not going to comment. I'm answering the question. You may not like it, but I'm answering the question, and I'm answering the question, and I'm telling you that we are not going to comment. We're not going to comment from here. I'm not going to comment on I'm not going to comment on this. I'm just not going to speak further on any conversations. Just not going to comment on any ongoing criminal investigations. Your question is still asking me to comment on what's happening, right? By me answering it is still asking me a question to comment, and I'm not going to comment anymore. We're just not going to comment. We're just not going to comment on it. So I cannot comment on it at all. We just are not going to comment. We're not going to comment on the underlying materials. We're just not going to do that. We feel that it is not appropriate for us to comment on this. We're just not going to comment. We're just not going to comment at this time. We are not going to comment. We do not feel it is appropriate for us to comment. And we just aren't going to comment on that at this time. We're not going to say anything. We're just not going to comment. We don't comment on that at all. We're just not going to comment. Of course, it's important to have transparency, but we're just not going to go any further than that. We're not going to comment on anything related to this. We're just not going to comment. We're just not going to make comments on any questions related to this. We're just not going to comment at this time. I'm just not going to comment on it.
And President Biden said, quote, "I'm not going to comment." I
am just not going to comment on that. When it comes to national security questions and even classified materials, it is something that we just don't speak to. That is something that I wouldn't even be able to talk about. We're just not going to comment. I can't even get into hypotheticals right now. I can speak to this moment. I can speak to what is currently happening right now, which is we're just not going to comment.